My name is Suka, and we're talking about Ellen Joe. Ellen Joe is an ice attribute agent with the attack fighting style. She utilizes a shark-shaped shear and covers it in frost to literally cut her enemies in half. With the least motivational drive in all of New Eridu, she will do her best to do nothing at all if she doesn't have to. On top of being a mid-maid, she can sneer down on you to fulfill your every 6 sub dreams. You freak. Ellen's preferred W engine will be her signature Deep Sea Visitor. Along with a beautiful crit main stats, this engine provides an increase in ice damage with no additional requirements. To add on that, you'll gain an additional increase in crit rate when you hit an enemy with a basic attack. Additionally, when dealing ice damage with a dash attack, you'll gain another increase in crit rate, making it that much easier to build Ellen since you have to find less crit rate on your drive discs. When maxed out, if the buffs are applied, you'll have 44% crit rate during your burst window, so you only need to find, let's say, 50 more crit rate in your drive disc. If you want to save your premium currency, you can instead opt for Starlight Engine, which has an attack main stat. Its effect increases attack percent even more after launching a dodge counter or quick assist. This isn't an amazing engine for Ellen, but it's good enough. Optionally, you can go for Cannon Rotor, and as well as with its crit rate main stats, it increases attack percent by an additional amount, on top of a wonderful effect of inflicting an additional 200% of your attack as damage whenever you land a crit on the enemy. This effect of course has a cooldown of 8 seconds to proc. A recommendation if you don't have any of those is Street Superstar, which provides an attack percent main stat. Its effect stacks charges for the equipper whenever a squad member launches a chain attack, stacking up to 3 times. When you use your ultimate, you'll consume all the stacks, with each stack providing the ultimate an increase in damage by 15 to 24%, depending on how many copies of Superstar you have. This is wonderful for the small burst windows we focus on. The only downside is that you have to wait for your ultimate to be up. Without it, your damage would be kind of pathetic while you're trying to build decibels. Let's talk drive discs now. We have 3 options you can go for. Pridewind crunched the numbers, and there is one set that has a perfect balance of burst and standard rotation damage boosts. That will be the Woodpecker Electro set, that provides a lovely crit rate boost by 8%, and on the 4-piece set, whenever you land a critical hit with either your basic attack, dodge counter, or X special, your attack will increase by 9% for 6 seconds. Noted from Pridewind's test, you can gain 3 separate attack buffs with the 4-piece effect with their own duration. You can effectively have 2 stacks at most, with how the game plays providing an amazing 18% increase in attack for 6 seconds. It is recommended to use the Puffer Electro for the final 2-piece slots that you have, providing you with an increase in penetration ratio by 8%. Otherwise, you can go with Hormone Punk or Polar Metal if you're so inclined, the former increasing attack by 10%, and the latter increasing ice damage by 10%. Don't want to farm Woodpecker Electro? No worries, you can use instead Polar Metal, which is the ice damage focused set on top of which the 4-piece effect increases damage of basic and dash attacks, which Ellen uses a lot, as well as increasing the effect of freeze or shatter by 20% for 12 seconds. This will be the most synergistic set you could use with Ellen, but the math from Pridewind notes that the burst window will be 10% less in overall damage compared to Woodpecker Electro, but even so, you can still use this set no problem in any endgame scenario. For the final 2-piece sets, we recommend Woodpecker Electro. Otherwise, you can go with Hormone Punk or Puffer Electro if you want. Don't want Polar Metal? Then I guess go with Puffer Electro then, which increases penetration ratio by 8% and increases ultimate damage up by 20%. On top of which, increases attack even more whenever you use your ultimate. This set requires you to have your ultimate up to deal the most damage, and it also requires you to plan out your rotation differently, meaning you'll have to use your ultimate as soon as possible to gain the additional attack bonus it provides. I don't find this set all too amazing. It is great for burst windows, but I prefer a more balanced damage output that Woodpecker Electro would provide where you do amazing damage inside and out of burst windows. 2-piece sets that you can pair with this set is Woodpecker Electro, Hormone Punk, or Polar Metal in that order. Stats that you want to hunt for. Disc 4, we want crit damage or crit rate, whichever you need more of. Disc 5, ice damage percent is what I would prefer, but if you want, you can pick attack percent instead. Disc 6, attack percent will be the stat you want. Substats, you should go for both crit rate and crit damage, which would be hard to find, I admit. But then you look out for attack percent next, and then penetration or flat attack if you have room. Next up, let's talk about her kit. Ellen has a 3-part basic attack, which can be enhanced with flash freeze charges to do even more damage against her enemies. Her special is a fat tail swipe attack dealing ice damage. And her X special is an even more powerful tail swipe attack with the added benefit of providing a flash freeze charge. There is also a neat combo you can do right after using her X special, which is to use basic attack right after, which automatically does her 3rd basic attack immediately. Another combo to note, when you have a decent amount of energy to do back-to-back X specials, the 2nd X special will be an insane tornado of slashes called Shark Nami, which can also be followed up with a basic attack 3. Her ultimate, called Endless Winter, has Ellen crash down from the sky to unleash an ice storm, followed by a scissor strike, dealing a ton of ice damage. She will be invulnerable while using this skill. Her first core passive revolves around her charged scissor strike and her enhanced basic attacks. That corresponding skill's crit damage will increase by 50%. Her second core passive requires another ice element or someone of the same faction in her squad, which increases her ice damage whenever she deals ice damage by 3%, stacking up to 10 times. Meaning she will get an insane 30% increase in ice damage. Okay, let's talk about her special mechanic, Roaming Hunt. Whenever you hold or double tap dodge while you move, you will enter the Roaming Hunt state. While in this state, if you use the basic attack or hold basic attack, you will do a special attack which provides you with flash freeze charges. 1 charge for just clicking basic attack, and 3 charges when you hold basic attack. These flash freeze charges will be used to deal the enhanced basic attacks that I mentioned before, and these will deal a ton of damage as well as charge up her energy bar even faster. For a standard rotation between bursts or while building energy, you focus on building flash freezes. The fastest by doing the charge scissors attack to stack 3 charges at once, and then do your basic attack combo, rinse and repeat. The rotation for your burst window will usually follow after stunning the enemy with your stun agent, which would look like a chain attack into her X special, then basic attack 3, then ultimate, then X special twice, and then you finish with a last basic attack 3. This will be different depending on whether or not you choose Puffer Electro as your drive disc set, instead, which would mean you would need to use the ultimate right after her chain attack to gain the attack boost the set provides. That's pretty much it for her playstyle. Super simple. After you get used to her playstyle, just charge flash freeze and then do basic attacks to charge energy and decibels. Then during the burst window, just use up your energy and ultimates and your target should die pretty quick. Let's talk about team setups next. First team, there is a perfect mono ice team that you can create with Lycaon as your stunner and Sokaku as your support. Lycaon is a cracked stun unit on top of the ice element he provides. You can proc Anomaly pretty quickly. Lycaon also provides an amazing 25% ice resist shred debuff, as well as increasing the stun multipliers by an additional 35%, which will make Ellen's damage literally break the ceiling. On top of all that, Sokaku can just launch Ellen into space with her insane flat attack buff that she can transfer to Ellen, and additional 20% ice damage, as well as being able to freeze the enemy very quickly. Team setup will be important here, especially with who you switch to during chain attack. Start with Lycaon to stun the enemy, chain attack switch to Sokaku, and then Ellen last to provide her with Sokaku's flat attack transfer, to which you will just delete the enemy with Ellen's burst window rotation. Don't have Lycaon? Don't worry, because Anby is an amazing stun unit on her own and will do a perfect job to set up the window for Ellen. She can probably proc Disorder as well when you combo Freeze and Shock, but that's not where the majority of our damage will come from. Okay, what Bangboos should you use? Sharkboo is my favorite pick since he deals ice damage and inflicts a ton of ice anomaly buildup. Synergistically, whenever there are two elements on the team, his chain attack inflicts even more anomaly buildup. Plus, he's in a shark suit. You can't have Ellen without her mascot running around. But fine, you don't have Sharkboo, whatever. Then how about Butler? Realistically, you should only use Butler if you have Lycaon on the team, since Butler provides an amazing 20% energy regen whenever there are 2 or more agents of the Victoria Housekeeping Company in the squad. Otherwise, use someone else. Okay, you don't have either of those two? Then Penguin Boo is your A rank option, which has the same effects as Shark Boo, but just weaker, but still usable. I'm going to assume you're maining Ellen here, and you should really only build one team at a time with the limited resources we have. So you should choose Shark Boo as the S rank whenever you do your Bangboo pulls. But hey, that's just my suggestion. We will need multiple teams at endgame anyways for certain game modes, so do what you want. That's it. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.